Hi everyone, I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and today's video comes straight from questions that one of my YouTube community members asked, and I know that some of you have the exact same questions. So here's the situation. 6 months ago, Lee ended a relationship with a covert narcissist. After months of manipulation and abuse, he finally recognized that her toxic patterns were not going to change, and he walked away. He didn't text or call, but he was still reading the messages she was sending and her emails, checking her socials. And of course, she used that to her advantage, posting photos to make him jealous, cryptic messages clearly targeting him, just trying to get a reaction from him. Even after 6 months of not responding to her, she still had an emotional grip on him. So just recently, he took the next step. He blocked her everywhere, realizing that he needed to set this firm boundary to protect his peace of mind. But then came the second guessing. Does this make me weak? Does it make me look immature? And that's the trap so many men fall into. You finally go strict, no contact, you block her to protect your sanity, but instead of feeling relieved, you end up worrying about what she might think or whether it makes you look bad. Okay, so here are the specific questions he asked me. First, does blocking her now after 6 months signal that I'm weak or immature? Second, would staying indifferent and not responding at all have been a better approach than blocking her? Third, was this the final step in reclaiming my power and my peace of mind? Fourth, when she notices that I blocked her, will she think that she still has power over me? Fifth question, should I ever consider unblocking her in the future? Okay, so let's go through these one by one. First, does blocking her now after 6 months signal that I'm weak or immature? No, blocking is not weakness. Weakness is leaving the door cracked open and allowing her to slip back into your life. So blocking isn't about being immature, it's about drawing a clear line, a boundary that says you respect yourself and this door is shut. She doesn't get to enter your head or your heart anymore. Blocking is actually the mature thing to do because it shows that you're done playing games. And here's the truth. If you're still checking her socials or reading her messages, even if you're not replying, she still has access to your nervous system. Every post, every word, every photo is a potential trigger that can keep the trauma bond alive and fuel the cognitive dissonance. Some men worry that it makes them look insecure by blocking, but it's typically the men who don't block that end up obsessing, analyzing, and getting sucked back into the cycle. Blocking stops that loop, and it's one of the strongest, smartest moves you can make to free yourself. Question 2, would staying indifferent and just not responding at all have been a more powerful approach? Here's the thing. Indifference is only powerful if you truly are indifferent. And if you were, you wouldn't be checking her socials or reading her texts. So if you're still seeing her updates or leaving the door open for her messages, then you do still care on some level. Now you might be telling yourself, I'm just checking to protect myself, but all it takes is one photo, one post, one guilt-tripping message, and suddenly your mind is spinning again. And that's her still having power over your nervous system. True indifference is when you give her zero access to you, when she doesn't even exist in your day-to-day life, when you're so happy and busy in your own life that you honestly couldn't care less about what's going on in hers. And that is a powerful place to be. And what makes that possible is closing the door completely, locking it, bolting it shut, throwing away the key. And blocking her is what creates the space for you to actually heal and move on. Question 3, was blocking her the final step in reclaiming peace and psychological space? Now, blocking is a huge step, but it is not the final one. And here's why. It cuts her off so she doesn't have direct access to you, and it stops the constant stream of triggers that keep the trauma bond alive. But blocking doesn't erase her from your memory or from your nervous system, at least not overnight. So think of it like this. Blocking stops the bleeding, but the deeper healing comes from what you do with that space that it creates. Breaking old patterns, grounding yourself, and pouring your energy back into your own life. That's how you truly reclaim peace of mind. And if you need help with this, consider taking my toxic relationship recovery program that I link below. Question number 4, when she notices I blocked her, will she think she still has power over me? And this is such a common fear, but here's the truth. It doesn't matter what she thinks. With someone like this, she'll twist anything to fit her narrative. If you don't block, she'll interpret that as proof that you're still hooked on her. If you do block, she might spin it as proof that you still care. Either way, she creates her own story. That's why trying to manage her perception and interpretation never works. It's the exact same trap that got you stuck before. Always trying to prove your intentions, show your love, defend your character, or win her approval. None of that ever changed her narrative, and it certainly won't now. Question 5, should I ever consider unblocking her in the future just to prove that I've moved on? No, never. Blocking is not a temporary tactic. It's not a test. It's not a game. It's a boundary. And I get that part of you might want to prove that you're over her, that you can see her posts or hear from her without being affected. But that's the trap. The moment you unblock her, you reopen the door to the same cycle of manipulation, confusion, and trauma bonding that you're working so hard to escape. And here's the thing. Blocking and then unblocking, going back and forth like that does look weak and immature. And it tells her that you're still reactive and you're still in the game. True strength is setting the boundary once and holding it forever. That's how you protect your peace, your clarity, your freedom, and your self-respect. Now, let me just add a couple of things that I know some of you are wondering about, and that is, what if we have kids together? Or what if we work together? And in those circumstances, blocking isn't always possible. So you shift to low contact and gray rocking. Any contact you have to have is strictly about logistics, parenting schedules, work deadlines, practical things only. No feelings, no explanations, no debates, no checking on her. And if you don't share kids or work responsibilities, then there is absolutely no reason to keep her around in any way, shape, or form. And this is the most important point. No contact isn't even about her. It's about you taking your power and your life back. Every time you resist the urge to peek or reopen the door, you're strengthening yourself. The men who relapse are the ones who say, I'll just take a quick look. I'll leave her unblocked. I'll prove I'm indifferent. Every single time it drags them right back into that toxic cycle. So if you've blocked her and you're second guessing yourself now, stop. Blocking is not weakness. Blocking is freedom. Blocking is strength. Blocking is self-respect. Do not unblock. Do not look back. She's out of your life and in the past, and that's exactly where she needs to stay. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want more resources and tools to break the trauma bond and rebuild your confidence, then check out the links below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.